Hey guys, FMS26 here, and welcome back to highlights of ILR for round number 8 of the season, round the Circuit Paul Ricard in France for my first competitive league race at this track. As you can see here in qualifying, we're on the super soft tyres, not fancying the ultra soft today, and we're coming to start our qualifying lap now. Went a bit too wide in the last corner for my liking. As a result, our delta isn't particularly good at the start of the lap as we head down towards turn 1. Very easy to cut here, but we made the apex nicely. Turn 2 also easy to cut and extend. We've absolutely nailed that right on the white line on the apex there, and as a result our first sector time should be pretty impressive as we head down towards the end of the sector now, getting it all hooked up through that chicane very nicely. And this has been a very good lap so far as we head through, I don't know the corner numbers, this long right hander. Let the car run out wide, get the power down as early as possible before swinging it left onto the long straight, which is made quite a bit shorter by the fact they've decided to put a chicane in the middle of it, which we shall now prepare ourselves for. Shifting up through the gears into 8th gear now, DRS wide open as we break down into the chicane. Give yourself as wider entry for the second part, which we don't quite manage to. Have to go down to second there, using all of the exit curb on the exit, but no more as we head down the second part of the straight towards the flat right hander to start sector 3. As you can see, we're actually cut purple currently on the pole time, which is actually set by Cushmania on the Ultrasoft. So this lap is looking very impressive as we head into the long right hander. Can we get the car stopped down to 4th? Could have gotten the power a bit earlier, I feel, there, but not too bad as we head to this horrendous third to last corner, I guess, avoiding the inside curb as that will throw off the car, and we've managed to negotiate that reasonably nicely. So there's just 2 corners to go now, although this probably counts as 2 corners in itself, whereas it tightens up before swinging the car right into the last corner. First gear, probably a bit too much on the curb there, but oh well. Straighten the car up, go for the straight run to the line, and what's it going to be? It's a 29.6 to put us currently second on the grid, just behind Cushmania by less than a tenth, but Dutchman goes on pole immediately and puts us down to 3rd. But yeah, pretty good lap for myself there. Top of the super soft runners by 3/10 from mid-C, with Cush actually beating Dutchman to pole in the end. Jamie in 5th, Dasfell in 6th, Josu in 7th, and Wormson in 8th, I think. But yeah, very happy with that lap. I beat my PB from before the session by half a second, so not much more I could have asked for really. And we're in the box seat, top super soft runner, only the 2 ultra soft runners who are really going to struggle to make the one stop work. As you can see, super soft suggested by the game, that will be what we're going for. Need to keep the front left temperature under control because it can get pretty hot around here, but hopefully we won't have any problems doing that, and we should be able to stretch out the stint till lap 10, I think. I can't remember, it's a few days ago since I did the race, and then put on the softs, which should take us to the end. As we now have the lights, there's 3 lights. Now we have 4, and it's 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go here in France. We've not got a very good start. Cush and Dutchman pull away from us straight away as we've got Jamie up the inside and Mid-C on the outside. We're going to be 3 wide as we head into turn 1, which is not wide enough for 3 cars. Jamie backs out. We understeer into Mid-C, just leave him enough space if he wants to come back at us through turn 2, but he doesn't. And we maintain P2 as we've now got Jamie actually having a look at us as we head down towards the end of sector 1 for the first time, but we managed to maintain P3 there. A good start from myself. After the original poor getaway, we managed to maintain our starting position, which is all we could have hoped for really. We're not going to get a better launch than the guys on Ultrasoft. We need to make sure that these 2 don't get too far away from us, so we don't have to make up too much ground when their tyres start to die, and hopefully we can get into the lead pretty quickly here. We don't want to battle too much with Jamie, Mid-C, etc. behind, because they will hold us up in our quest to take the lead here. We've run a bit deep into that chicane. I wasn't really sure how to take it. I'm still not, still learning the track, and the racing line isn't particularly useful, but we'll have to go with it still. As we head through this flat right hander, which should easily be flat for the entirety of the race, I would have thought. Dutchman and Cush currently getting away, but I suspect that won't last very long as we head through the last sets now, just getting it nicely hooked up. Corner cutting is a big problem around this track. I'm expecting people to get quite a few penalties. We'll try and not do that, and hopefully as a result benefit like we would have done in Canada, but we weren't on track anyway. It made our win look more impressive, the fact that everyone else had about 7 million penalties. But go around the final corner to end the first lap, pretty uneventful after the first sector. No real pressure from Jamie as Cushmania sets the first lap of the race, and we're just going to have to continue on our way now. As we skip to the end of lap number 4, actually no, set to the end of sector 1 on lap number 4. We've caught up to these guys, Dutchman and Cushmania, still P1 and 2, but they haven't got away, which they needed to do, because now the Super Softs have transitioned to being the best tyre, and we may be able to have a look at our teammate in the Force India. Hopefully he won't fight us too hard, but we'll have to wait and see. Dutchman goes defensive, then sort of pulls back to the racing line. We're not really close enough, so we're going to brake nice and early. He's braked very late there. Maybe going to have a look at Cush in the second part of the chicane. That's not worked. There's been contact, probably lag between the two of them. Dutchman has to get off the throttle to allow Cush back through, and we're going to have a look now as we just about managed to squeeze through on the inside, which is going to become the outside for the flat right-hander. That shouldn't really be an issue. We should just leave him space on the inside, keep it in 7th to keep the back end under control as we now shift up to 8th. And we're going to now have a look around the outside of the Sauber of Cush as well into the long right-hander, but we haven't quite got the front end turn in to get that one hooked up around the outside, but we've made one move there on our teammate, and Kush is now really struggling through the third sector. Maybe his tyres have gone off already. I'm not sure how much practice he did, and we're going to be looking to make the move as soon as possible, but Dutchman's not done yet. He's having a look into the final corner, around the outside the penultimate corner. He has a look up the inside. We leave him just about enough space, but he decides not to take it in the end, and that is us up into P2 here. Exactly what we needed. Now we need to hopefully use Dutchman as a buffer as Jamie's having a look at him. We're going to give our teammate the slipstream, and hopefully he can hold up the Haas for a couple of laps and allow us to get past Kush and hopefully build a gap, but we'll have to wait and see. Kush's pace looks to have picked up now after the last sector was a bit poor. It's all kicking off behind. Luckily we're not involved in that. As we head into the chicane, we've gone a bit deep into there, but managed to just about recover it for the second part as we're now heading towards the DRS straight. A bit of oversteer on exit there, which is giving Kush a better run, but we should get the DRS. Well, we will get the DRS. Hopefully we'll get a good enough run to have a look at him into the chicane, but I'm not certain about that one. We'll have to wait and see. We're not really close enough, I'll be honest, even with higher ERS. Now shifting to overtake. He goes defensive. We're going to have a look around the outside of the chicane, but we don't have the grip, the downforce to hang it around the outside there. I was running quite a low front wing, so the front end wasn't hugely pointy, so hence we haven't been able to get around the outside of him just yet. But we've got another run on the second straight. We're going to follow him behind him through the flat right hander as we tuck into the behind him, but no, lag has occurred. We'll have to let him back through there. I suspect he would have taken the position anyway. Collision with him. We didn't really have a collision on our screen, but these things happen. We haven't gained the place from it, so it's fine. Hopefully Kush isn't too bothered by it. As my teammate Dutchman is still valiantly defending position 3 here. What a guy. But we haven't been able to take advantage of my teammate's good work because we're still stuck behind the Sauber as we now head towards the other DRS straight, the pit straight. Can we get a better exit on the final corner than we did off the end of sector 1? Not really. Jamie now moves up into 3rd, by the way. And yeah, we're not really close enough to Kush to have a look into turn 1, but maybe he's saving ERS because we started to close up quite a lot in the second part of the straight. We're going to actually have a look into turn 1 from nowhere. We've got the car ahead into turn 1, but we need to leave him space for turn 2. Is he going to be able to hang it in there? Yes, not very legitimately though. He's forced us off the track there, so I'm not particularly happy. We're going to try and come back at him for turn number 3, which probably isn't 3. Round the outside of the chicane. He's squeezing us, but we still managed to hook it up the inside from the next part of the chicane. Can we hang it round the outside at the end of sector 1? He's squeezing us onto the curb, just enough space there, but no, he's able to take the line through there. We weren't able to hang it around the outside, but we'll have the DRS due to tucking in behind. There's a bit of lag there. This time we're much closer than the last lap. Surely we can't not gain the position here, and we're alongside already. Surely we'll be later on the brakes as well. We're even ahead before the braking zone, so we'd have to mess it up quite a lot to lose the position here, and we haven't. We're into the lead here at the well, in the middle of lap 6, and hopefully we won't face any more resistance from Kush, and he's able to keep Jamie behind for a couple of laps so we can bolt Kush reasonably close to us, but I don't think he'll be able to have a look into here, and indeed he doesn't. So that is us up into P1 here. Reasonably familiar site in ILR after Canada, but there's still 20 laps to go plus, so nothing to get too comfortable with at the moment. We need to make sure we keep driving consistently, keep the tyres under control, and then hopefully we'll be able to take home a good result here. But this could be the lap that Kush decides to come into the pits, and indeed it is. So Jamie is released behind me, and Josu in 3rd, who's had a great start actually from wherever he started. But we now skip on to lap number 10. Jamie's caught me. He's looked after his tyres better than me, which is pretty impressive given he's on the pad. I'm not sure if he's running a less aggressive setup than me, quite possibly. But we're coming into the pits this lap. Sauce will easily last. We could have come into the pits a long time ago as we've run out a bit wide on that curb. But I wasn't comfortable doing that as we're understeering everywhere, all off the track, and Jamie's maybe even going to have a look at us into the last corner here, just showing how bad our tyre wear has been, even though we weren't driving too aggressively, but we've managed to keep it under control. Jamie pretty close behind us, but we're not going to waste any time battling with him as we're going to head into the pits now. But we've gone in deep, and we've got damage. Stupid driving from myself there, and they're not changing it. They're not changing it. Yeah. I mean, I've only got myself to blame here. Just terrible driving, just to give myself damage there. Why can't I be cautious into the pit lane? Who knows? But yeah, we've given ourselves damage. The team hasn't changed it. If the team had changed it, it would have been absolutely fine, because we would have lost 5 seconds in the pit stop, and that would have been it. But instead, we now have to do a whole lap and make another pit stop. So not only are we losing time on this lap, where we have significant front wing damage, but we're also going to lose time with the extra pit stop. As just shows my head's gone there. We've got a warning for doing that, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, not looking good, it must be said. We've thrown away a podium once again, possibly a win, just compounding my, yeah, that's a good line, a frustration in this league that I can't get it together. Baku, Spain, and now here, I've probably been the fastest driver and should have definitely finished on the podium in all of those races, but instead I've thrown it away, making stupid mistakes either in qualifying or the race, and as a result will be probably over 50 points off the championship lead unless something crazy happens to Midsi in this race. As a result of that, when I should really be up there fighting with it. I'm the only driver who's won 2 races, but I've also only finished 3 races so far, which is not exactly what you want, as we've now got Brimson all over the back of us, as that's not the track. As he's now going to have a look around the outside, and we've locked up with a damaged front wing. We've got a warning, which is not really deserved. We're going to have to let him go there, because that was our fault. He's got an illegal overtake, and he's had to let us back through. I'm not going to waste time letting him through, because I'm heading straight in the pits anyway. I apologised to him after the race, and he was cool with it. As we now head into the pit lane at the end of lap number 11 for the second time in 2 laps, and because I only have 1 set of softs, we're going to have to stop once again later in the race after this as well, just to add insult to injury. They changed the front wing, but at this point I decided, nah, we're going to have to pit again. There's no point. Everyone has to is pretty much going to the end at this point, and I have to pit again. I'm not going to get any points, so I decided to retire from the race. So once again, frustration for me, but only myself to blame as usual, as it's a poor result, and it was Jamie who took the win, showing that it probably would have been a good battle between us, with me having the undercut but him having better tyres at the end. These things happen. Congrats to Jamie, he becomes the 7th different winner in 8 races. Wilmson takes him 2nd, and Midsi extends his championship lead by finishing in 3rd, which means I'm now 50, a long way behind. I couldn't give you the exact number. I think it could be 61. 61 points behind. And yeah, so congrats to those guys. Hopefully we can bounce back stronger next week, get a good result, but I'm not really feeling it, to be honest. We'll have to wait and see. Austria is one of my better tracks, so in theory I should have the pace. But yeah, until then, thanks for watching, guys. Goodbye.